In the Grand Chamber of the United Earth Council, General Marcus Blackwood stood before representatives of every nation on Earth. The holographic displays behind him showed the latest incursion, massive alien mining vessels hovering over the Pacific Ocean, their energy drills piercing the atmosphere without permission or warning. For too long, we've endured these violations of our sovereignty, Marcus declared, his voice carrying across the chamber. Every month brings new intruders, mining corporations from the Centauri worlds, bioharvesters from the Pleiades Confederation, even pleasure cruisers treating our planet like some exotic tourism destination. Director Rashidhar Patel, head of Earth's Extraterrestrial Defense Initiative, stepped forward with the evidence. The screens filled with footage of alien ships helping themselves to Earth's resources, siphoning water from the oceans, extracting rare minerals from protected territories, even collecting biological samples from Earth's wildlife preserves. We've tried diplomacy, Rashidhar stated, bringing up diplomatic logs from the past 5 years. We've filed complaints with the Galactic Council. We've even attempted to establish trade agreements. But they ignore our sovereignty, treating Earth as unclaimed space despite our clear technological advancement and unified planetary government. The chamber erupted in heated discussion. Humanity had achieved faster-than-light travel only 15 years ago, and in that time, they'd discovered a galaxy teeming with life, and unfortunately, with opportunists who viewed Earth as easy pickings. Today, we changed that, Marcus continued, silencing the chamber. Today, we declare Earth and its surrounding space sacred to humanity. Not through treaties. Not through appeals to alien councils. But through our own authority as a species. Dr. Jun Wei, Earth's leading quantum physicist, activated the primary display, showing the new defense grid they'd developed. We've created a network of quantum beacons surrounding Earth's orbital space. These will broadcast our declaration in every known alien language and communication format. No one can claim ignorance of our sacred space proclamation. What no one in the chamber knew, not even Marcus or Rashidhar, was that something far more significant than a simple declaration was about to occur. As Earth's quantum beacons activated, broadcasting humanity's claim across space, ancient systems buried deep within the planet's core began to stir. The first test of the declaration came just 3 days later. A Rigelian mining fleet, notorious for stripping developing worlds of resources, dropped out of hyperspace near Jupiter. They ignored the warning broadcasts, their massive ships plotting a course straight for Earth's atmosphere. Lieutenant Kira Patel, monitoring the situation from Orbital Defense Station Alpha, followed standard procedure. Rigelian fleet, you are entering declared sacred space. Reverse course immediately. Her warnings went unanswered as the fleet pressed forward. What happened next would change the galaxy's perception of Earth forever. The leading Rigelian vessel, moments away from entering Earth's atmosphere, simply vanished. No explosion. No distress signal. No debris. One moment it was there, the next, gone, as if it had never existed. The rest of the fleet, witnessing this impossible event, immediately reversed course and jumped away. In the following weeks, the pattern repeated. A Centaurian research vessel attempting to collect atmospheric samples vanished. A Pleiadian bioharvester trying to gather oceanic specimens disappeared without a trace. Each violation of Earth's declared sacred space resulted in the same mysterious outcome. The galaxy noticed. Rumors spread across interstellar communications networks. Earth wasn't just claiming sacred space, it was enforcing it through means that defied explanation. Fear began to replace dismissal in alien discussions of the young human civilization. In the secure depths of Earth Defense Command, Rashidhar and Marcus studied the data from each vanishing. We're not doing this, Rashidhar admitted, reviewing the sensor logs. Our defense systems are purely monitoring and communication-based. We have no technology capable of making ships vanish without a trace. Marcus stared at the replay of the latest disappearance. Then what's protecting us? What power did our declaration awaken? Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in an ancient chamber that hadn't seen light in millions of years, crystalline structures pulsed with renewed energy. Humanity's declaration had done more than stake a claim, it had awakened something that had waited eons for precisely this moment. Earth wasn't just becoming sacred space, it was remembering that it had been sacred all along. The age of violation was over. The era of Earth's true power was just beginning. News of Earth's mysterious defense mechanism spread through the galactic community like wildfire. In the gleaming spires of the Galactic Commerce Hub on Alpha Centauri, representatives from 100 alien civilizations gathered in emergency session. The disappearance of the Rigelian fleet had sent shockwaves through interstellar markets. Captain Zena Wright, Earth's diplomatic attaché, sat calmly in the observers section as accusations flew across the chamber. Her silver-streaked hair and weathered face reflected decades of military service before switching to diplomacy. She watched, taking mental notes as alien species she'd never seen before demanded explanations. The humans must reveal their weapon technology, thundered Ambassador K. Extal of the Rigelian Consortium, his crystalline form vibrating with anger. 3 of our most advanced harvester ships, gone without a trace. No debris, no energy signatures, no distress signals. The Pleiadian representative, a being of pure light contained within an environmental suit, raised a tendril in agreement. Our own research vessels have similarly vanished. This violation of free space travel cannot stand. Zena noticed how none of them mentioned their ships had been attempting to steal Earth's resources. Their outrage was purely about being denied what they saw as their right to plunder. She stood, her voice cutting through the chaos with military precision. Earth has declared itself sacred space, she stated firmly. We broadcast this declaration on all frequencies, in all known languages. What happens to those who violate this declaration is not our doing. We are as curious about these disappearances as you are. In the depths of space, another violation was about to test Earth's mysterious protection. The Drachnid cartel, notorious for their disregard of territorial claims, had assembled their most advanced stealth fleet. Their ships, covered in light-bending metamaterials, approached Earth's solar system from below the ecliptic plane. Fleet Commander Vexthor studied the holographic display of Earth's defense grid. Their quantum beacons are primitive, he sneered to his bridge crew. No energy weapons, no phase cannons, nothing that could explain the disappearances. The other species are simply incompetent. The Drachnid fleet moved closer, their stealth systems operating at maximum capacity. They passed the orbit of Mars without incident. Commander Vexthor allowed himself a smug smile. Whatever had happened to the other ships, his technology was clearly superior. Then the impossible happened. His flagship's sensors detected something ancient stirring in the void around them. Space itself seemed to ripple, like waves on a cosmic ocean. Before Vexthor could order a retreat, his entire fleet vanished, adding to the growing legend of Earth's untouchable status. Back on Earth, in the newly established Sacred Space Monitoring Center, Dr. Imani Okoro led a team of Earth's brightest minds in studying the phenomenon. Holographic displays showed the positions of every known disappearance, forming a pattern that defied conventional physics. Look at this, she called to her colleague, Dr. Heinrich Weber. The elderly quantum theorist hobbled over, his cybernetic leg whirring softly. The disappearances aren't random. They are following some kind of geometric pattern, like a web. Heinrich adjusted his spectacles, studying the three-dimensional display. Not just any web, he muttered, his eyes widening. This is based on sacred geometry. The same patterns we found in ancient structures across Earth. In orbit, aboard the International Defense Platform, Lieutenant Commander James Chen received another alert. A small fleet of merchant vessels from the Proxima Trading Corporation was approaching, claiming diplomatic immunity. This is your final warning, James broadcast. Earth space is sacred. Any unauthorized entry will result in your disappearance. We cannot control or prevent this outcome. The merchants pressed forward, their greed overwhelming their caution. Moments later, they joined the growing list of vanished violators. James made another entry in the incident log, noting how the ship seemed to fade away like morning mist, leaving nothing behind but fear and speculation. The pattern of disappearances had an unexpected effect on Earth's standing in the galaxy. Species that had dismissed humanity as primitive now spoke of them in hushed whispers. Theories spread about humans being an ancient elder race in disguise, or possessing technology far beyond current galactic understanding. But Dr. Okoro's team was beginning to understand a more profound truth. These aren't disappearances in the conventional sense, she explained to the Earth Defense Council. The ships aren't being destroyed. They are being relocated. The question is, to where? And more importantly, by what? Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, the ancient crystalline structures continued their silent vigil. With each violation of Earth's sacred space, they pulsed with increasing strength. The time was approaching when humanity would discover the true nature of their world's defense system, and their own connection to powers they had forgotten eons ago. The galaxy was learning a harsh lesson: Earth's declaration of sacred space wasn't just words. It was awakening something that had slumbered since before Wrecker. The discovery came during a routine deep-sea mapping expedition. Dr. Imani Okoro stood on the bridge of the research vessel Nautilus, staring at sonar readings that defied explanation. 3 miles beneath the Pacific Ocean's surface, they'd found it, a vast geometric structure that pulsed with the same energy signature as the vanishing ships. It's not just one structure, Chief Marine Archaeologist Nathan Rodriguez explained, his fingers dancing across the holographic display. They form a network, like circuits on a motherboard, but spread across the entire ocean floor. Some of these structures are millions of years old. The Nautilus's discovery sparked a global revelation. Similar structures were soon found beneath the Atlantic, the Indian Ocean, even under the polar ice caps. Earth wasn't just protected, it was engineered. At the Sacred Space Monitoring Center, Lieutenant Commander James Chen received an urgent transmission from the Galactic Council. "They are offering us membership," he reported to the Earth Defense Council. "In exchange for sharing their weapon technology they think we possess." General Marcus Blackwood, now Supreme Commander of Earth's Defense Forces, smiled grimly. "Decline the offer. We still don't understand what we're dealing with ourselves." The ancient structures chose that moment to demonstrate their power again. A massive vessel from the Arcturus Mining Consortium, thinking itself safe behind experimental phase shift technology, attempted to bypass Earth's declared boundaries. The ship's sensors detected the energy web too late. Unlike previous disappearances, this time Earth's monitoring stations captured something new. As the Arcturian ship vanished, there was a brief flash of something. Dr. Heinrich Weber's quantum sensors recorded it all. "It's a dimensional fold," he announced to the assembled scientists, his cybernetic leg tapping excitedly. "The ships aren't being destroyed, they are being transported. But the question is, to where?" Deep beneath the Pacific, in the largest of the discovered structures, Dr. Okoro led a submersible expedition. The crystalline formations seemed to respond to human presence, glowing with a soft blue light as they approached. "These aren't just defense systems," she breathed, watching ancient symbols illuminate along the crystal walls. "They are more like cells in an immune system. Earth itself is alive, and we've finally learned how to activate its defensive capabilities." The breakthrough came when they managed to decode some of the symbols. They weren't alien writing, they were human. Predating every known civilization, but undeniably created by human hands. "We didn't discover this technology," Dr. Okoro explained to the Earth Defense Council. "We remembered it. These structures were built by our ancestors, so far back in history that we'd forgotten our own capabilities." The implications shook the foundations of human history. Evidence suggested that humanity had once been far more advanced, possessing technology that could manipulate space and time itself. But something had caused them to forget, to start over, leaving only these sleeping guardians beneath the waves. The galactic community's reaction to this revelation was immediate and dramatic. Species that had once looked down on humanity now approached Earth with almost religious reverence. The term, sacred space, took on new meaning. Earth wasn't just claiming territory, it was reclaiming its heritage. But with understanding came new challenges. The ancient security system wasn't just defensive, it was adaptive. Each attempted violation made it stronger, more responsive. The crystalline networks were learning, evolving, remembering more of their original purpose. During a particularly tense standoff with a Pleiadian research fleet, the structures revealed another aspect of their power. As the aliens approached Earth's boundary, the defense system didn't just threaten disappearance, it showed them what had happened to previous violators. The Pleiadians witnessed visions of every vanished ship, trapped in a pocket dimension, preserved as warnings to others who would dare violate humanity's sacred space. The fleet retreated immediately, spreading word of Earth's mercy. They didn't destroy violators, but they ensured they would never threaten Earth again. Dr. Okoro's team made another startling discovery in the underwater complex. The crystalline structures weren't just defensive, they were communicative. They held records, memories, messages from humanity's forgotten past. Our ancestors left these systems dormant for a reason, she explained to General Blackwood. They knew humanity would need to rediscover its power naturally, to grow into it. Our declaration of sacred space wasn't just a political statement, it was a key, awakening what had always been ours. As if responding to her words, the ancient structures pulsed with renewed energy. Across Earth's oceans, the crystalline networks brightened, their light visible from space, a warning and a reminder to the galaxy. Earth wasn't just claiming sacred space. It was remembering what it had always been, a nexus of power, protected by technology so advanced it appeared magical, waiting for humanity to reclaim its forgotten legacy. The age of violation was truly over. The age of remembrance had begun. The dreams began 3 months after the discovery of the underwater structures. Across the globe, billions of humans reported the same vision: vast cities of crystal and light, ships that sailed between stars, and a profound sense of connection to something greater than themselves. Colonel Ryoko Tanaka of the Earth Defense Force woke from one such dream, her quarters aboard the orbital station Alpha illuminated by Earth's glow below. The planet seemed different now, its oceans shimmering with a faint luminescence visible even from space. The structures aren't just defending us, she reported during the emergency council meeting. They are changing us. Restoring something we lost. In her laboratory beneath Mount Fuji, Dr. Okoro had made a breakthrough. The crystalline formations weren't just machines, they were interfaces, designed to connect with human consciousness. Each disappearance of an alien violator wasn't just an automated response, it was a collective action of humanity's awakening power. We're not just remembering who we were, she explained to the gathered world leaders, her hands moving through holographic displays of human DNA structures. We're becoming what we were always meant to be. The truth emerged gradually. The ancient humans hadn't just built a defense system, they had engineered their own evolution, encoding it into Earth itself. The Sacred Space Declaration had been the final key, activating not just the planetary defenses but the dormant potential within every human being. The first major test of this awakening came when the Arcturus Dominion, refusing to believe in Earth's power, launched a full-scale invasion fleet. 500 ships, armed with the most advanced weapons in the known galaxy, emerged from hyperspace around Mars. High Admiral Zendar of the Dominion broadcast his demands: surrender your defense technology, or we will reduce your world to ash. The response came not from Earth's military command, but from every human mind simultaneously. Billions of consciousness joined together, connecting through the ancient network that spanned the planet. Colonel Tanaka, aboard her station, felt it, the power of 10 billion minds united in purpose. The Dominion fleet didn't just vanish. It transformed. In an instant, every ship was transmuted into crystalline structures similar to those beneath Earth's oceans. The vessels, now beautiful geometric formations of light and crystal, hung in space as monuments, a warning to any who would threaten humanity's sacred space. We are remembering, Dr. Okoro whispered, watching the transformation through the orbital telescopes. Not just our past, but our potential. The change accelerated. Humans began manifesting abilities that defied conventional physics. The crystalline structures beneath the oceans pulsed in harmony with this evolution, guiding and supporting the species' transformation. Deep in the Mariana Trench, the largest of the ancient structures activated fully for the first time in millions of years. It projected a message into every human mind, not in words, but in pure understanding. Humanity had once been the guardians of this sector of space, protecting younger species while they developed. The Great Sleep had been necessary, allowing both humanity and the galaxy to grow naturally. But now, the awakening was complete. Earth's declaration of sacred space had been more than a political statement, it was a species remembering its purpose. The galactic community watched in awe as humanity transformed. The once primitive species now demonstrated mastery over space, time, and reality itself. Ships that violated Earth's sacred space weren't just vanishing, they were being gently but firmly redirected, their crews' memories adjusted to respect boundaries they once ignored. Colonel Tanaka, standing on the observation deck of her station, watched as the crystalline formations that had once been the Dominion fleet caught the light of Earth's sun. "We're not just defending our space," she said to her crew. "We're returning to our role as guardians." In her lab, Dr. Okoro made one final discovery. The ancient structures weren't just defensive or evolutionary technology, they were keys to the universe itself. Humanity had once been the caretakers of gateways between dimensions, ensuring the stable development of countless species across multiple realities. The vanished ships hadn't been destroyed or permanently trapped. They had been given a choice: learn respect for the sacred spaces of all species, or remain in contemplation until that lesson was learned. It was not punishment, but education, the true purpose of advanced civilizations. As Earth's transformation continued, the galaxy began to understand. The humans weren't just claiming their space as sacred, they were remembering their sacred duty to all of space. The age of violation was over, replaced by an era of guidance and protection. The crystalline structures pulsed with renewed purpose, their light now visible across the galaxy, not as a warning, but as a beacon. Earth wasn't just protected space. It was once again what it had always been, a nexus of creation, a point of balance, a sacred trust passed down through the ages. And humanity, at last, was awake to guard it. 1 year after Earth's Great Awakening, the Galactic Council called an unprecedented assembly. Representatives from over 10,000 civilizations gathered in the ancient meeting grounds of the Andromeda Nexus. They came to witness humanity's formal announcement of its restored role in the cosmic order. Professor Kai Wang, once a simple quantum physicist, now stood before the assembled species as Earth's chief ambassador. His form shifted between physical and energy states, demonstrating humanity's transcended nature. The crystalline structures that had once been hidden beneath Earth's oceans now orbited the planet like a crown of stars, visible across light years. "For too long, the galaxy has operated under the law of the strong consuming the weak," Kai began, his voice reaching every mind in the vast chamber. "We remember now why we chose to sleep, why we waited until this moment to reclaim our sacred duty." Above the assembly, a holographic display showed the thousands of ships that had violated Earth's space over the past year. Not destroyed, as many had feared, but transformed. Each vessel had been given a choice: evolve or withdraw. Dr. Okoro, now keeper of the ancient archives, stepped forward. Her consciousness extended through the crystalline network, projecting images of Earth's true history. "We were not meant to be conquerors," she explained, "but guardians. The sacred space we declared was never meant to be just our own." The images showed Earth's original role, a nexus point where multiple dimensions intersected, a place where the barriers between realities were thinnest. Humanity's ancient ancestors had taken up the mantle of protecting these cosmic crossroads, ensuring no species could exploit the power of multiple realities. Colonel Tanaka, her form now a brilliant constellation of light and thought, demonstrated humanity's restored capabilities. With a gesture, she opened a window to the dimension where the most obstinate violators had been sent. They existed in perfect comfort, experiencing accelerated evolution until they understood the true meaning of sacred space. "Every species has the right to develop naturally," she explained. "Every world has its own sacred rhythm of evolution. Those who would violate this truth must learn, or they must wait until they can." The Galactic Council, faced with this display of power and purpose, recognized the return of humanity to its ancient role. But it wasn't fear that moved them, it was understanding. The crystalline structures weren't weapons, they were teachers. A delegation from the Arcturus Dominion, their consciousness expanded by their time in contemplation, testified to their transformation. "We saw the truth in the crystal void," their leader declared. "The sacredness of space is not about territory, it's about responsibility." Earth had become more than a planet. It was once again a symbol, a beacon of cosmic lore and universal harmony. The vanishing ships weren't victims, they were students in the greatest school of consciousness the galaxy had ever known. Professor Wong revealed humanity's final gift, the sharing of the sacred space protocol. Every species would have the right to declare their developmental space sacred, protected from exploitation and interference. The crystalline network would expand, creating a web of protected zones throughout the galaxy. The age of predation is over, he announced. The time of guardianship has returned. Deep beneath Earth's oceans, the original crystalline structures pulsed with completion. Their long vigil was ended. Humanity had not just remembered its power, it had remembered its purpose. The final warning to the galaxy was not one of threat, but of promise. Earth's sacred space declaration had become a covenant with all life. Those who would violate the sacred spaces of any world would find themselves gently but firmly guided toward evolution. Dr. Okoro's last discovery in the ancient archives revealed the ultimate truth: the crystalline structures weren't built by humanity's ancestors. They had grown them, shaped them from their own enlightened consciousness. Now, humanity would teach others to do the same. As the assembly concluded, the galaxy witnessed a new beginning. Ships that had once vanished without a trace now returned, their crews transformed by understanding. The Violators had become protectors, each species awakening to their own role in the cosmic dance. Earth glowed like a jewel in space, its crystalline crown broadcasting a message across dimensions: all space is sacred. All life is precious. All evolution must be protected. The mystery of the vanishing Violators was finally understood. They hadn't been punished, they had been elevated. Earth's sacred space declaration wasn't an end, but a beginning. The Guardians had returned, and the galaxy would never be the same. In the depths of space, new crystalline structures began to grow around other worlds, other species beginning their own journey of awakening. The cycle had begun again, but this time, humanity was awake to guide it. The final trace of the old order vanished, replaced by something greater, a galaxy where sacred space wasn't declared by weapons or wars, but by the shared understanding of all conscious beings. Earth had led the way, turning violations into transformations, threats into teachings, and fear into enlightenment. The sacred space that had been declared by humanity had become the sacred trust of all species, guarded not by force, but by wisdom. And in the crystalline crown above Earth, the stories of all who had once vanished without a trace became lessons in the greatest truth of all, that every space, every species, every moment of evolution was sacred.